Hello guys, welcome to another video on the customer relation management MCQs. So today we'll be discussing another set of 15 questions, which is a set 2. So starting with the first question, the method used to access the real cost of providing the services to an individual customer. So here we are talking about identifying the real cost providing to the customer. So what are the options given are the cost based, activity based, turnover based and price based. If you know, in order to access the real cost, what you need to do is we need to keep a track of all the activities that we are doing in order to provide the services to the customer. And for each activity, there will be cost associated. So whatever activity we are doing, that the cost associated with is will give us a real understanding of the real cost that has been spent for providing the services to the customer. So this is possible by activity based costing. So this is from the definition of activity based costing accounting. We have discussed in detail about the activity based accounting in our chapters. Next, dash is in any occasion on which the brand or the product is used by the end customer. So whenever the customer is coming in contact with the brand or the product, then that is known as a touch point. We have discussed in very detail about the customer touch point. So among all the options, it is a customer touch point that is the correct answer, and it is from the definition of the touch point. Next, dash is the study of how individuals, groups and organizations select, buy. They are selecting, they are buying, they are using and disposing the services, ideas or experience to satisfy their needs and wants. So we are doing all the study about how the customer is selecting, buying and using the products or the services, and they are satisfying their needs and wants. So the entire cycle we are studying. So in this is nothing but gives an idea about how the consumer behavior is. So from this we'll know the consumer behavior. So this is from the definition of the consumer behavior. So the correct answer is the consumer behavior. Next, this is the processing of data about the customers and their relationships with the enterprise in order to improve the enterprise future sales and service and the lower cost. So here we are discussing about the data processing of whom of the customers. We have known from our CRM definitions, whenever we are processing the data in order to understand the consumer behavior, that is nothing but analytics CRM. So this comes from the definition of the analytical CRM. So this is the CRM analytics. Of course, we are doing the CRM, but then it is the analytics which is important because we are only processing the data. So the appropriate answer among all these options is the CRM analytics. Next, B2B. We have understood from our previous chapters, and also there are two types of businesses, or the business are trying to selling their products. One is to they're either they're selling the products or services to another business, or they're doing to the customers. When they are doing for the customers or the consumers, that is nothing but a B2C, and one business is selling the product or services to another business is nothing but the business to business. So B2B stands for the business to business, whereas B2C is the business to consumer or the customer. Next, what is the last stage of the consumer decision process? So there are various stages in which the consumer decides as to what should be the whether it should go with the product purchase or not. We have discussed in our previous chapters about this in detail. So the main thing, okay, he is satisfied with the quality of the product or the value that he will be getting from the product and everything. But then one more important aspect which is very crucial is the last. Let us say if you are purchasing a washing machine, then how this washing machine will work after he has purchased the product is very important. Let us say there should not be any faults, or whenever there is a service that is needed from the company, whether there is a proper service provider or the proper service centers for that washing machine in the city wherever he lives. So that is the last stage. He takes one of the decisions taking involves this post purchase behavior. Once he has purchased a product, so how he will be able to, if at all there are any problems with that, how we will be able to have the problem solved. So all these things is taken into consideration by the consumer. So this is the last stage of the consumer decision process we have discussed in detail. This is nothing but the post purchase behavior, the last stage. So dash is organized selection of detailed information about the individual customers or the prospects that is accessible, actionable, current for marketing purposes such as lead generation. So what we are doing is we are doing the collection of the data of the individual customers that can be used for the marketing or the lead generation. So this database is nothing but the customer database what we are trying to build. So the correct answer is the customer database. Customer billing list is a part of the customer database. Business database is something where we are discussing about the prices, and there are many aspects to that. Here we are only discussing about the customer behavior or about the only individual customers, the data. So the correct answer is the customer database. Next, Dash is a sophisticated mathematical and statistical technique such as neural networking and cluster analysis. So, we are using neural networks is a type of artificial intelligence that we are using. And cluster analysis, like if there is a huge data, then how we are segregating the data into different clusters. Then all this is nothing but comes from the one of the definitions of the data mining. Data mining is a technique where we are working on the big data and trying to convert into actionable data or the data with intelligence. So this neural networking, artificial intelligence, and applying the cluster analysis techniques to a big data is nothing but the data mining. So the correct answer is the data mining. Next, in buyer decision process, percentage of potential customers in a given target market. So what are the percentage of potential customers that is there in a target market? So what it is, if you have understood from the marketing definitions, marketing funnel is one of the ideas where we discuss about the potential customers. So that is nothing but the marketing funnel. Next, Dash is a central point in an enterprise from which all consumer contacts are managed. So all the customer contacts are managed where? If at the help desk there is only one-on-one interaction with the customer, this is also correct. Call center is from where telemarketing is done and they are in contact with the customers. Multi-channel marketing is also one of the ways in which customer contacts can be managed. But then if you are talking about the larger organization or the bigger organizations, there will be so many multiple channels, so many call centers, so many help desks. So how these all are managed is there will be centralized place from which all this is managed. That is nothing but the contact center. So contact center is the correct answer. The type of website that engages consumers in interactions that will move them closer to direct purchase is known as. So here we are carrying out some interactions with the customer. Let us say nowadays the robot chats are there, which automatically they will be using artificial intelligence. Some of the questions can be generated. How can I help you? And whenever you type the question, then sometimes the customer agent will call based on your inputs. So this type of having an interaction can be developed in a website, and whenever we are having an interactive website means there is an interaction going on. That design is nothing but interactive. Next, whenever we are preparing a website, designer should ensure that the site enables user-to-user communication. So whenever there is a user-to-user communication, so like there are two users who are communicating with each other or something like that, then in this case, what is this feature? This feature is whenever we are providing a user-to-user communication, we can do with the help of the context. Let us say we want to have a context is like a central idea based on which these customers can interact, or a topic that can be only the user's interaction can happen. So the correct answer is the context. Community is a group of community key where customer might not be there, even then he can contact and see. Connections are there, but then context is the correct answer among all these and most appropriate. Customers being able to buy products and services on the internet is the result of what? So let us say you are purchasing from the Amazon or Flipkart or Snapchat, whatever. So many e-commerce companies are there. So what they are doing? So these were able to purchase. It is because of these companies are doing the e-business. These companies are e-commerce, but then the process of the business that are involved in the e-business. So the correct answer is e-business. Next, one of the major problem for e-business growth, as we have discussed, e-business is because of the internet, where there are so many sellers at different locations and so many consumers at different locations. So lack of market, because we are talking about the internet, so entire world can be your marketplace, so lack of market is not right. There can be so many sellers at different locations, so there is no lack of sellers also. There's a lack of proper infrastructure. This can be a major problem because there are so many sellers at different places and so many consumers. So how we will connect these consumers with these sellers, or who are the persons who have products and services, and how we will deliver them? These all things you have to take care. So the infrastructure has to be huge. So the lack of proper infrastructure can be a major problem for the e-business. Next, Dash is a network that connects people within a company to each other and to a company network. So within a company, two people are able to communicate with each other, and also they can communicate with anybody in a computer network. So this type of restriction is there, which applies to within a company. Then this is nothing but the LAN, where within all the people who are there in the LAN network are able to communicate with each other. So one of the other definition of LAN is intranet. So this is intranet is the correct answer. So in this video we have discussed 15 questions on customer relation management and to some extent marketing also. If you have liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos, and thank you for watching.